Hi Australia, and by that I really do mean hi Australia. Today we're talking about drugs. I even painted my wall white to suit the occasion. By the way, painting a wall in a rental still less expensive than buying drugs in Australia. $300 for a gram of cocaine? Am I buying drugs or truffle oil? Now, I don't take drugs because I have the personality of a meerkat trying to keep a secret, but most Australians love drugs. In 2018 alone, we consumed 3 tons of cocaine, 1.5 tons of MDMA, and based on those last two, I'm guessing about 100 tons of chewing gum and bottled water. We love drugs so much, we should change our national anthem. It should be like, Australians, oh let us rejoice, for we're on ecstasy. With pills and coke and spliffs to toke, our homes all smell like weed. By the way, all that cocaine and MDMA, you know what that means, right? The average Australian now has a faster resting heart rate than an internet connection. Seriously, we're below both Slovenia and Serbia. Do we need a civil war before we can get good internet? What do I have to do? Kill Bob Catter? I'm just kidding, you can't kill something that's already dead. Anyway, this video isn't about the internet. Today's video is about heroin. Now, before we start, I want you to guess what percentage of our population use heroin. A rough number is fine. We're not playing dealer or no dealer. I'll give you a couple of seconds. Hey, look, a puppy dog. It's fun. All right, what number did you come up with? 10%, 20%, 5%? How about 0.2%? That's right. According to the Australian government statistics, heroin use in our country hovers at around 0.2% of the population. That's give or take about 50,000 people. Now, to put that in perspective, there's 1.5 million Australians on TikTok. And in my opinion, TikTok, way more addictive than heroin. Did you know 1 in 4 people who use heroin end up addicted, but 4 in 4 TikTok users end up twerking and throwing their shoes around the room? TikTok. Don't even try it. Here's another question for you. What's more deadly in Australia? Legally prescribed painkillers or street heroin? Again, just a guess is fine. What's more deadly? Pills from the doctor or powder from Harry the horse handler? Okay, I'll be honest. I don't really know any heroin dealers. Are they like the Avengers? Do they come up with like fun names for themselves? I don't know. Tag a heroin dealer. Anyway, the answer is prescription drugs. By a lot. To quote the Australian Therapeutic Goods Administration, pharmaceutical opioid deaths in Australia exceed heroin deaths by a significant margin, by 2 to 2.5 times. You're more likely to die from an overdose of legal drugs than you are from Smacky Sam the heroin man. Again, I don't know any heroin dealers. Are these names offensive? Please don't cancel me on heroin Twitter if they are. I apologize. So not only is heroin use rare in Australia, it's actually safer than legal drug use. And that's when the heroin is being made and sold by street gangs. If you decriminalise and legalise heroin, i.e. you make it legal for people to possess and use, and you make sure they don't get in trouble if they get caught, the truth is when you do that, and you provide people with a safe, controlled environment to use it in, heroin overdoses actually fall. Take a look at Victoria's safe injecting rooms. Since they opened, they're estimated to have saved up to 51 lives. And this may sound crazy, but decriminalising heroin actually makes people less likely to use it. The British Journal of Criminology found that in Portugal, where drugs have been decriminalised and safe injecting rooms have been established, the number of injection drug users dropped from 3.5 per thousand to around 2. That's a drop of almost half. And in Switzerland, where safe injecting rooms were opened, overdoses went down and the number of addicts with permanent jobs doubled. For more information on the source of these numbers, I recommend reading the book Chasing the Scream. It's now on Audible. That's not a paid ad for Audible, but I'm always open to compensation, Amazon. Tag Amazon in the comments. Now, none of this is to say that heroin use is good or that it's not a dangerous drug. Heroin is a very strong drug and people can get hooked on it. But the truth is, it's far from the most harmful drug we have in our society. To quote the Australian government's own research, tobacco and alcohol cause more ill health and premature death than any other drug. The Australian government also said that in 2011, around 18,000 deaths were due to tobacco, 6.5 to alcohol, and just under 2,000 to all other illicit drugs. Basically, if tobacco and heroin were people, heroin would be Louis C.K. and tobacco would be Bill Cosby. They're both not great, but I know which one I'd prefer to hang out with. Now, I know this is a complicated issue, and I know I have sent a lot of numbers your way. I wouldn't be surprised if some of you have nodded off, and not just the heroin users. But my point is this. We need to move far, far away from our current drug policies. They're painful, expensive, and most importantly, ineffective. They're the legal equivalent of masturbating in public. It feels good in the moment, but it's hard to look at and it makes everyone's lives worse. At least that's what my friend Louis C.K. says. Look, Australia needs to move into the 21st century. One way or the other, we're going to get there. But we need to legalise and decriminalise drugs to reduce the harm that's being done in our society. Until then, we're just stuck with a big problem. And I don't know how to end this video.